Hello folks and welcome to Erannorth Chronicles. Today we will be diving into a new game mode called Chosen, which is a harder variant of the Pariah with some additional pros on the player side. So you will be starting with a free perk called Curse of the Chosen that increases your hand size by a +1. This is to give you the opportunity to try out builds that are not dependent on having a high intellect. You start with 20 perk points and you only gain 5 perk points per level. So at the first level you have 25 perk points and you can get a perk, unlike in Pariah. Your minimum deck requires 10 cards extra, but you will be getting 2 Lanterns of Enlightenments, which you can open for the missing cards. You can forsake up to 4 skills. You gain 2 level up points per level instead of 1. Settlements are unlocked, but sell normal cards up to expertise 3 instead of up to expertise 5. You can have up to 4 copies of each card. All cards are +1 tier, so this applies to cards that already have a tier 1, tier 2, etc. are 1 tier higher. 0 and -1 are staying the same. At the end of the turn you randomly discard down to 7 instead of down to 3. This is the same. Leveling up requires more experience, so in order to level up in Chosen you will be needing much more XP. So in Pariah the first level can be attained at 50 XP. In Chosen you need 100 XP to reach level 2. Okay, so let's see what else. The other stuff are mostly the same. The major differences are the ones that I already mentioned and are laid out in this section right here. So we will be playing in this mode, and we will be picking the new organization called Tower of Elements. And Tower of Elements is an organization that requires you to invest in several different expertises in order for your cards to reach their full potential. For example, if we have a look at Rallendor's Healing Spring, it morphs if you have Hydromancy, at least 1 rank, and Research, at least 2 ranks. And what will happen is that you will get a heal 6 hit point at the first level, and you will be drawing 1 card once you have Research 2. So the fully upgraded card with the level up benefits becomes like so. And if you look, for example, Lothiel's Firewall, this is the fully upgraded card. You get Resistance Fire, you get Defend. Mavis Acidic Orb, the fully upgraded card, once you have Research 2 and Geomancy 4. And so on. So this is a pretty tough organization to play with, but I want to experience it as much as possible. So we will be starting out with an Orestiad Nymph. We will already be having Geomancy 1. This is our starting deck. Rolling Boulder is a great card to survive the mode we'll be in because of the stun. We also have Allure, which has stun, we have Pin Down, so Nymph brings in the table lots of stun, and particularly so the Orestiad. And we will be playing as a Druid of the Stone, which also has an additional Rolling Boulder, along with some other very interesting cards like the Boars, the Stonefolk Warriors, all pretty solid cards for the tough mode will be in. We also get Geomancy +2 and Nature Magic, but we will be forsaking it. Background, this background you don't have it, it's background from one of the mods I have in Workshop, the one with the pre-generated characters. It would be a great fit for our character, but let's go fully vanilla and pick instead the Erudite perk, which gives us a +1 on research, is what we care about here. And I will be forsaking Marksmanship. We'll be adding 1 point, 2 points, like so. We'll forsake Nature Magic, and I will forsake Seduction as well. I will keep Herbalism and eventually put Erannorth to here, we'll see. So we have forsaken 3 skills, we can forsake up to 4 only because we are in the Chosen mode. Otherwise you can just forsake 2. We'll be picking the second Druid gear, which gives us these cards right here. Great consumables and great accessories to have, especially once we get our ability to shapeshift. This will be our character and we'll name her Liana. And play. We haven't signed the rest of our stuff, okay. Okay, so intellect. We'll go all the way to 17. That will become a 19 once we be inside. We'll drop Charisma to 11 and go 17 here as well. And at this point you may want to boost your strength so you won't have a penalty here. Maybe go with 8 charisma and 10 strength would be a better option. Or like so. No, I think I will go with this version. We could also drop intellect. We want a 17 here. But it's okay. I will just leave it like this. Okay, so now we are truly ready to play and start. Okay, let's go and check our deck. We need to have 34 cards in our deck instead of our 24 we'd be having normally because of the Curse of the Chosen. Before we open the bundle, let's go here as well. So we have Geomancy 4, Research 2 and Spellweave 1. And if we go here, you will notice that we got the draw benefit because we have a research here, and Sophia got additional benefit because we have research, and many of our cards have been improved because of that. We can get a perk, and we will be getting the Tower Apprentice. Now as we climb in the tower hierarchy, our summon limit will be dropping. Eventually we'll be end up being all alone. So be ready for that. Primary focus. We could go with Geomancy to make our Geomancy 5, and of course we can also get a new focus which we want to do in order to enhance further our character. So I will be getting Pyromancy. Okay, now onwards to our equipment, equip our stuff, and to our tech builder to open our lanterns. Blank spellbook, useful to have because you can change elements in zones where you are having aversion. Remember, we can have 4 cards here, up to 4 cards, so we could get more rolling boulders, but I will get overheat, add it to my stash. Rock shards to my stash. Rallendor's healing spring. Thread of fire. Thread of fire is a much better option for us. Stash. Thread of earth. Stash. Done. So let's see if we can build a deck right now. I will add one of the Stonefolk warriors with threads, rolling boulders, allure, ascetic life, foresight, hardened stuff, overheat, pin down. Be adding patch wounds, 2 bows, 3 bows. And I will also open my next lantern. Conjure flames. One erudition. Corlands, flaming arrow. One more erudition. Thread of fire. So we're adding the second thread of fire, we'll add conjure flames, we add Corland's flaming arrow, we won't add eruditions of course, but we can add, for now at least, 2 of these, or maybe one Stonefolk. Okay, so this is our deck. Eventually we want to move out the allies as we'll be going solo, and we are ready to start. Let's check out what we have here. Now, forsaking herbalism would have made up for a greater card pool, I think, but it's good to have the choice. Start with the Gaul. will die. Let's get this bonus effect. We still had the Gaul targeted. Okay. Capacitated. Pass. We can only have one ally at a time. Deal the damage and pass. So as you can see, the enemies are pretty tough and hit very hard. If we had 4 orcs, for example, and all of them attack us, and we didn't have any way to block their damage, we'd be instantly dead. But we have plenty of stuns in our deck, so we will be good to go, I think. Doesn't matter. I can't use any of them. Unfortunately, we woke up the Gaul. Let's use the wound, patch it. We are still envenomed. Getting synergy burn won't help us, but this one must go first so he can die before he triggers a benefactor healing. And pass. Okay, so far so good. As you can see, we need 100 experience instead of 50 to reach our first level, so we won't be getting it. This is a nice example where if you didn't have evasion abilities, you'd probably die unless you were able to kill all of these guys. But or drop them halfway would be the other option. His ability is Hurl Rock, deals 7 primal earth and 5 to 11 chaotic for us. And we can also boost our bludgeoning damage a bit, which will make our boulders even more deadly. This is our mage stuff. Nope. So he will just die. Let him. Let's replace our stone folk. One. Okay, we will take one attack. Let's play Ascetic Life. Having one rank in Herbalism would have been pretty useful. He will shield. The other guy might lose his turn from Entangle. He didn't. Our patch wounds cards would have been much better if we could also use Herbalism. I will get a discovery. Add it to my stash for now. 4 enemies here. Let's start stun 1. Why does always have to go and the chaotic damage hit the stunned guy? It's not something I have done on purpose, it's just how luck works. So we have 2 incapacitated, 1 die from negative status, 1 will get concealment, and as long as we don't get attacked, we are in a good place. We can't use any of them, but we still can benefit from this negative strain. We can still play 3 cards. But we can also pass. Passing can be a great opportunity to refill your reserves, your action points, but be mindful of the reinforcements. If you delay too much, reinforcements will arrive, and that will be a spiral you can't get off easy. Three ghouls. Okay, let's start with the ghouls. One gal down. The others are stunned. We couldn't stun this guy, he resisted. It's okay. We have some healing. Not need to use it yet. If our ally dies, it will burn 3 enemies. So let's add this here. Kill him by summoning a replacement. Fortunately, this one was selected. Incapacitate. Such mistake can be very costly here. Not in this particular case, but generally speaking. Let's mark this one. Hardened stuff. Talisman. Okay, so we completed the first zone successfully. Let's grab Corland's Immolating Current to our deck. Narcissa's Spellgrimoire. That's awesome, but we need 7 research. Doesn't matter, I will stash it. And this will let us unlock 3. We can loot 3 of these cards. So stash. Landslide. Landslide is an excellent geomancy card. You can stun 3 random enemies and deal 1 to 3 damage to 3 random enemies as well. So we will deck this card too. Stash this one. So our first adventure was successful, and we will go to our deck builder and see if we can remove a few cards. I think I will keep the boards and remove this guy. We can access the town if we want. It's closed now, but guess we can loiter or no need. Let's go and do the overlook once more. This is another good scenario of dying if you can't deal with some of them. Luckily we have an abundance of stuns to use. But the other problem that we need to be addressing soon is that outside of stun and entangle, we don't have pretty much nothing else. So no weaken, no bewitch maybe. freeze. More likely for us to find freeze than bewitch, since we forsake since I forsake seduction. No need to pick one, we got our strain. I can stack some spell components if I have any here. Just had one. Sink this warrior in. They will both attack. We were able to force him to heal. Let's go with the thread. Give him burn. Lothiel's spell grimoire. Yes, we'll be stashing that too. Shuffle. So spell components, we just have one. You can use this here. Earth Beam is quite nice. We also have some earth amplification. We are also fatigued. I will deck the rock shards. So as you can see, there isn't anything stressful or anything that you can't handle if the deck and the build offers you the tools that you need. And that's some status effects to disable enemies if necessary. Let here gossip. Gossip. Corland's Arrow, let's use Overheat. Bring the Stonefolk Warrior. And we will be leveling soon, maybe even after this node. Let's multicast that. Now it's worth mentioning that we are in a zone where we have affinity to our element, and if you are not, then you should certainly move into one area that you have affinity. We wouldn't be able to survive here with aversion, or even if we just had no bonus and no penalty. Things would have been tough too. Okay, so 1 point in Herbalism, 1 point in Spellweave. We have 20 perk points. We don't gain much perk points here. In the next level we'll earn 15, for example, which is nothing, but the way we get our perk points is by completing challenges, and soon, hopefully, we'll be able to do them. Okay, sell. Arundel's Flaming Thorns, Arundel's Stone Shackles. This card is awesome, just awesome. But it's also more than we can afford. Hopefully we'll get to find it, but in the meantime I can purchase these Flaming Thorns. And one more copy. So I can remove 3 cards. We now have 1 rank in Herbalism, so we can make more of the ascetic life. Maybe one of these. Okay, so we don't have any challenges to do here, but I can either go to Orestiad or I can go to Rivermoor. And I think I will go to Rivermoor. We can also do the River Pine South. We have a version of fire there. We have a version of fire here too. We have affinity in water and air and earth. So, water, air and earth. Corland simulating current is air. We can't afford really expensive cards, but we can get a couple just to remove our fire cards, which will be making our life hard in there. Okay, so let's save this deck and call it Geomancy and Pyromancy. Remove our threads of fire and the Corland's arrow. We just need to add one card. There are also some split fire cards like the Flaming Thorns, but these are just a lower potential, so don't particularly mind them much. Okay. We have a version of fire. Yes, we have a version of fire. Ah, we have a version of fire. That's amazing. I mean, this card is earth, so we can still do split fire damage just fine. But our fire damage, yes, that sucks. Okay, let's deal intense instead. Fire, we have a version. Water, we have bonus. And air, we have bonus. Deal intense. We should have first used our ally. Sprouting vines. Entanglement worked. Kill. Let's start with the landslide. It didn't work. This might wake them up, so I will just take it than risk it. Now Pat's wound heals 10 hit points, which is great. One rank in herbalism goes a long way. So try to take advantage of the affinities as much as you can. As you see, even if you have aversion in an element, if a card is split that's of a different element, you still have benefit in that. Stunned. Of course the damage would land here, but it's okay, let's just kill this guy. Get the heal and defend, and pass. That's a lot of damage. We are also healing 2 every turn with our Sunstone token. At 3 level we will also be having Shapeshift, and our talisman here would also heal some for us. Okay, we survived here. get some defense to have. That also initiates shuffle, which wasn't exactly what I want to do. It's part of the card effects, I mean. Nope, of course we won't steal, it's not in our roleplay, we are a Druid of the Stone. Capacitated. Let's take advantage of some heal and defend. Die from negative status. Incapacitated. Okay, so basically at this point we have got our footing. Our cards have leveled up a bit. We are in an area where we have affinity, and we are doing well. Let's grab the Ring of Warding, and we can also grab an Orimona in our stash. You never know when we'll be needing it. We can afford to get another perk, and we will be keeping these points. They are quite precious. Next level we'll only get 15, so we'll be having a hard time getting what we need, which is the 5th order perk. But that's a story for another time. I hope you enjoyed this run so far. I hope you will have fun in this mode. It's not a big deal, you can survive it, but your build have to be versatile and have some stuns, some weekends, bewitch, you know the drill. I will be seeing you next time. Have a good night.